Oh, what's up guys, this is part 2 and this is for the people who haven't started cardistry at all. You haven't touched a deck of cards, you still don't know how to do this. Alright, so if you are not affiliated with cards at all, I want you to just make sure you get used to the deck. Make sure you're comfortable just moving around your hand, not dropping them, okay? And then we're gonna go over the thing you need to do, the very foundation of the move. Alright, okay, so intro to the beginners. This is the foundation of the riffle fan that you need to know in order to even start it. So this move is called the dribble. First off, the dribble looks like this. Pinky ring middle on the top edge, thumb on the bottom left, and then your index putting a little bit of pressure in the middle of the deck on the top, okay? So you just want to practice just doing this. Okay, once you get that down smooth, you could move your index finger on the edge, and then you could just release the cards like this, because it is the foundation. And if you're dribbling in chunks, your riffle fan will look like candy can. Alright, okay. Alright, what's up nerds? This is part 2 of the tutorial. Welcome to part 2 of the tutorial. Now we are going to learn the basic movement of the riffle fan. Alright, so how to get the fan to the cards to even come out of the deck and form a little tiny thin circle around your thumb. This is the basic movement and finger placement of the riffle. So you've learned this, the dribble. Now you're going to combine it with your thumb or index finger. But you could do it with the index finger, many people do. I prefer the thumb. What you want to do is place your thumb on right here, the top edge of the deck. So this is the move. You get in riffle position, you put your thumb, and what you're going to do is that if you do this, the cards are not going to go anywhere. But what you do is that tilt the deck a little bit downward. The cards will start coming out and you'll get this half moon. And this is what I want you guys to get out of this part of the tutorial. This is part 3 of the riffle fan tutorial. If you're here, you already know how to dribble and do the half moon riffle fan, but now it is time for the amazing 360. Let's get into it. The 360 fan. It's very easy to get the half moon because you don't have to do any adjustments. You just let it rip, okay? So to get the 360, it's very minute and small adjustments that you need to do to get the full 360 fan. In other words, to create the 360 fan, you need to retilt the deck back to have the cards swing around, okay? You can barely see it when I do it, but what I'm doing is that right when the cards start flying around here, I start to retilt the deck back like this so that the cards could finish and use that momentum to swing back around and form the 360. The angle is not just this, but it's also this. So you have made it to part 4 of the riffle fan. So now I'm gonna talk about if you've gotten close to the 360 riffle fan, or you're trying to troubleshoot and you're having trouble, I will help you by describing pressure and the speed that you release the cards at, okay? Pressure and speed are very, 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 very important to the riffle fan. So the riffle fan requires that the speed that you riffle the fans at to be at a very consistent rate and a decently high speed. If you notice, if I go really slow, the cards don't come out. Watch. See, I'll riffle really slow, and the cards come out like ugly and kind of like not consistent. Moving on to pressure. You don't want to freaking stab the deck. So what I say is that you press down on the deck when you put your thumb there, and then you make sure that you feel a little bit of pressure on your nail, and that's it. But then you should also be experimenting with the pressure so that you know your vibes. Welcome to the final part 5, which is tips and tricks on practicing the riffle fan. Tip number 1. Practice over a bed. Practice over a soft area so that when you drop the cards, they're not getting dented or messed up. Plus, you could easily pick it up and you don't have to worry about like doing nothing really. You try to scoop it up. Then tip number 2. I cannot stress this enough. Practice with a new deck. If you practice with the old poopy deck, obviously it's not going to work, okay? The riffle fan is highly reliant on the slip between the cards. So make sure you have either a new deck or a slightly broken in deck. Yeah, tip number 3. Keep doing it. Keep experimenting with your pressure change, your angle change. And then my final tip number 4. Do not be a bitch when you let the cards flow. That's why I said practice over a soft area. If you just let the cards go, they'll follow you. But if you panic and you try to like catch the cards, you're never gonna get it. So just let the cards flow. If they fall in the soft spot. That's why I told you, okay? But if they don't, try that again, and then keep experimenting so you get the first half moon and then the full 360, okay?